Good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to TTV. I'm your host, Toya. Today is January 9th, 2021. It is 10:13 as I record this. I wanted to come to you guys this morning and just bring up a topic that came up in discussion yesterday when we were talking. Is a couple, me and another friend, we had a Zoom meeting where we did vision boards, which I can show you mine later or before the video ends. And one of the discussions that me and one of my friends had was we were talking about the things that we want to do and the goals that we have. Now, mind you, I think I said this before. I'm 44 years old and I finally have goals. I don't know if I said that in this videos or if it was in a different set of videos that I did for this class. But I am 44 years old and I finally have goals. And it was because I had to do a self journey in 2020 that removed a lot of blocks and a lot of the energies that I was holding on to, a lot of thoughts, a lot of the belief systems that I held on to. And once I was able to release that, then I was actually able to come up with goals and actually put them down, things that I truly want to do, things that I've thought about for years. And so I personally know that 2021 is going to be a year for me to learn what I need to know, the knowledge, gain the knowledge that I need to have in order to put those goals I have into fruition. So we were talking about it and how it's a little scary to step out to have these goals. Like my goals are huge and they not only affect myself, but they affect other people and their livelihood. Like people will be depending on me to better their own selves, to better their own lives based off of what it is that I'm trying to do with my life. And it's scary to have that kind of responsibility, to have that, people relying on you like that. It is scary. It is terrifying sometimes when I think about it. But at that same token, it's exhilarating because if I wasn't afraid, if it didn't make me nervous, if I wasn't in the mindset like, if I do this, if I put this into action, it cannot fail. Because if it does, it will affect other people. And to have that in your head and have that mindset, that means it's something that I really want to do. It's something that's close into my heart. To where if you go for something and you're trying to do something and it doesn't really mean anything, then it means it's easy. It's easy. You're not nervous about it. You're not afraid about it. It doesn't, it doesn't exhilarate and terrify you at the same time. Then you really don't want to do it. It really doesn't mean anything to you. You have no connection to what it is that you're trying to do. When you are scared and when you know stepping out is going to change your world, change your mindset, change something in your life, then that means it's something that you really want to do. It's important to you. Because if it wasn't important to you, you wouldn't care. You can be halfway into it and it ain't going right. Oh, well, it's not working. But when it means something to you, for you to sit back and say, well, it's not working, it actually hurts. It actually hurts. Okay? It hurts. Like you feel some kind of way. The wheels of regret start spinning and you feel bad about the fact. You feel like a failure because you gave up. So those are the times when you need to persevere and actually push yourself and go further, do more. Maybe you started out too big. Maybe you need to start out small with baby steps instead of trying to take these giant steps. There's a picture I remember seeing and they said, small steps. And it had a picture of a ladder, two ladders to heaven. Two, not one, two. Two ladders to heaven. One had steps that were like this, so you can climb them. They were steps, and you can climb it. You can get all the way to the top. The other one had these huge steps, and you get to the little tiny man. He can't even get to the first bar. Why? Because he's shooting too far. He's trying to. His first step is way beyond what he can reach. So if it is something that you're trying to do and you started and you stopped and you started and you stopped, maybe you need to take baby steps. I know when we are passionate about something, when we really want to do something, we want to just like jump in and run. But sometimes you got to just sign up for the race. Then you got to show up. Then you have to go get your number. Then you have to pin it on your back. Then you have to wait for the start time and everybody else to catch up. Then you have to stand in the line. Then you have to wait for them to sound the the whatever, the gun sound, horn, whatever it is that initiates it. And then you can proceed and go. But you have to take them baby steps in order to get to where you need to go. You have to take the baby steps to get it started. Yeah, maybe somewhere along the line you can really jump into it and just really go, but you still have to start out small and work your way up, especially if the goal or the task, whatever it is that you're doing, is very big, it's grand. Then you need to start with steps. Break it down. Like, people, the Empire State Building, they didn't just say, okay, well, I'm going to just build, this tall building. No, they had to sit back and go, okay, how much ground space do we need? How tall does this building have to go? How deep does it need to be to hold the stuff? That was all the paperwork, the stuff before they even broke ground, before they even found a spot for it. You have to start out small. You have to do the planning. You might have to sit back and do like a speech. When you give a speech or you do a paper, remember back in school, they told you to break it down. You have your introduction, then you have the body, and then you have your conclusion. And then within that body, you might have subcategories that you have to break down. Well, sometimes you have to take those plans you have and you have to break it down like that. Sometimes, like in my case, you got to learn what you need to know first before you can even step your foot in the game. Because if I don't know what I'm doing, or I don't have a clue or ideal of how to do some of the things that I'm going to do, then it's not going to go right. I have to sit back and take the time to learn what it is I'm going to be doing. I have to learn different areas of business, different areas of, because it has to do with real estate. So I don't know nothing about real estate other than the fact that I bought a house before. That's it. The laws, the rules, and how to do it, and the marketing, and I don't know anything about that. Just like financing, okay? Part of what I want to do has to do with financing. I'm not a financial guru, and it doesn't mean that I have to become one, but I do need to have an ideal of what it needs to look like and what needs to be set up. I have to have an ideal of how you go about assuming property without somebody coming back and saying, hey, you didn't do it right. Now, granted, yes, when it comes to that time, I can hire somebody to do it, but how do I know I'm hiring a good person if I don't have the slightest clue as to what their job is or what it is, the task that they have to do? So if I don't have the slightest clue as to what this job is, like I can get a real estate agent, but what kind of real estate agent do I get? Do I get commercial? Do I get residential, international? Like what kind of person do I get? Real estate agent do I get for this that I'm trying to do? So there's a lot that goes into it, and you have to take a moment to step back, sit down, calm yourself. Because like I said, I know we get excited, like, yes, I want to do this. This is what I'm going to do. And that passion comes out. But you have to take a step back sometimes and do the baby steps. What's the first step? Well, I got to understand what it is that I'm trying to do. Once I understand what it is I'm trying to do, then I can build my plan. And once I build my plan, then I can seek the assistance that I need, whether that assistance is financial, whether that assistance is, experts, whatever it is, I need to sit down and get that assistance. And then we work with those assistants to put that plan together and say, where are my holes? What is it that I'm missing? How do you play a part in this so that you can get to the grand part of where you can take off running? You have the plan. You know what you're doing. The pathway is clear. Now you can take off. You got the support you need. You got the knowledge you need. Now you can take off. So I only say that in the end, if it doesn't scare you, if you're not terrified, and you don't necessarily have to be terrified, but if you're not scared, then it's not important to you. It doesn't matter to you. Because if it scares you and that fear is like a cloud that you got to just push through. And if you don't have to push through that cloud, more than likely, you don't really care about it. It's not important. So you'll give up and be like, oh, well, I gave up. It don't matter. But if it's important to you, if you give up on it, you're going to feel it. That's going to start them wheels of regret. And you're going to feel bad about it. And you're going to start putting yourself down over it. And it's just going to be a cycle. So to get out that cycle, just get started. Start with your baby steps. Maybe you just need to write it all out. Maybe you need to go talk to somebody about it. Whatever that goal is, whatever it is that you really want to do, whatever that thing is that you're passionate about, you need to just start baby steps. Anything to just get started with it. And then you can move forward. Okay, so that's all I have for you. But I did say I was going to show you. So let me look at that. The vision board I did. All right, can y'all see this? Okay, so this is me developing a different body. That's why her face is covered up. You know, so this is me getting my life together, releasing this weight. Did I tell you about that? So I use the word release because words mean things to you, even on a subconscious level. So if I say I'm gonna lose weight, when you lose something, you go to pick it up. You go to search and find it. And I got that from Bob Proctor. Just like when you go to drop and somebody say, "Oh, you dropping weight?" No, I'm not dropping it because I have no intention on picking that up. It's gonna stay wherever it dropped is where it's gonna stay. So the words that we use and we tell ourselves do make a difference. So that's why I said that this represents me releasing my weight. So me releasing the weight and getting to where I want to go. Then we have this here. Okay, I love swimming. I love water, and this is a pool in somebody's house, and it says staycation. So that's what I want. I want a house where I can stay in it, where my being home is my vacation. This was my 2020 reoccurring theme in 2020. And it says right here, inhale, exhale, relax. Relax. That was my 2020 theme. That's what the message I kept getting over and over. And then it just says, love me. That's the license plate there. Then down here, of course, financial. You know, you got to make it big. Make it big. Family is everything is what this says right here. And then over here, this is where things I want to do. I took selling lessons in 2019. I do need to complete that because, 2020 kind of messed that up. But I do need to there's additional lessons I need to take for that. But next, I want to fly. And I don't know if I want to start with a helicopter or airplane, but I want to fly. So it's my jet, I'm the pilot. So your time. And then this was just another one to help me with here, which is food is my friend. I choose that food just like I choose my friend. And I choose how much time I spend with it and how much energy I put in it. So food is my friend. So it's like your friends, you pick your friends, I pick the food. And I pick food that is going to be beneficial to me. And that's not to say I'm perfect at it, because I'm not. Just before I had this, I bought some Frito scoops for the get together last night, and I had a couple of them this morning. So I'm not perfect at it. And we got them friends that they don't do nothing for you, but you can't help it. You love them anyway. So, but it's just a matter of getting better with it. So that's my goal, is to get better. So that's my vision board that I did yesterday, which kind of brought about the topic that I chose for you guys today. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share, because people, we get information that feels good to us and then we keep it to ourselves. And I'm guilty of this too, instead of sharing it, because you never know. If it helped you, it might help somebody else. So like I said, please like, subscribe, and share if you need to. I love you guys. You take care, be safe, and I will talk to you soon.